What's up, Broncos country? Are you ready for what I'm about to tell you? Because what happened in Houston last Sunday wasn't just another win. It was something much bigger. It was the kind of game that separates mediocre teams from teams that are building something special. And look, I'll tell you something right now. If you missed this game, you missed one of the most exciting moments of the season so far. But relax, because I'm going to put you inside every detail, every play, every second that made our hearts nearly leap out of our chests. Picture the scene, NRG Stadium in Houston, the Texans' house. A team with the best defense in the league, ranked number 1. And us? We were without Pat Certain II, our all-pro cornerback, out with a chest injury. Without Marvin Mims Jr., our explosive returner, also injured. And for most of the game, looking like the offense had simply forgotten how to score touchdowns. 3 quarters spinning our wheels, getting beat up by the opposing defense, making mistakes, stumbling. And then comes the question I want you to answer down in the comments. What makes a team keep fighting when everything seems to be going wrong? Because Denver Broncos family, on the last play of the game with 3 seconds on the clock, our kicker, Will Lutz, walked onto the field, 34 yards ahead of him. The game tied at 15-15. Total silence. And he simply sent that ball straight through the middle of the uprights. Field goal. Victory. 18-15. 6th consecutive win. And check out this gift. We're now at 7 wins and only 2 losses on the season. 7-2, people. When was the last time the Denver Broncos family started a season like this? I'll tell you, 2015. That team that hoisted the Super Bowl 50 trophy. Let that marinate in your head for a second. But before I get into the details of this epic comeback, let me ask you a question. Do you really think this was luck? Do you think a team can win 6 straight games with 4 of those wins coming when we were losing in the 4th quarter just by chance? No, my friend. This has a name. This is called winning mentality. This is called a team that believes. And this is called Bo Nix, our rookie quarterback transforming into the king of comebacks. Now, hold on to this information. Of our 7 wins so far, 5 were decided by 1 possession or less. 5 last year in the same situation, we managed only 1 win in 7 attempts. 1. And now, 5 out of 7. This isn't evolution, Broncos country. This is revolution. This is a team that learned to win ugly games, tough games that take years off our lives, but build character, build legacy. And you know what Bo Nix himself said after the game? He said, and what a beautiful quote, "It proves that we can win tough games and proves that our mentality can adjust to where we expect to find ways to win." It's a really good problem to have when you're finding these ugly wins. Ugly wins. The kid is 24 years old, a rookie, and already talks like a 10-season veteran. He knows it doesn't matter if it's pretty or ugly. What matters is the W at the end. And believe me, we've been collecting those W's. But let's go back to the beginning of this game, because the journey to that field goal in the final second was a true test of emotional endurance. First quarter starts, and Houston comes out swinging. Their defense, ranked number 1 in the league, is no joke. And right off the bat, they managed to advance to our 1-yard line. 1 yard! Think about it. They have 4 tries to push 1 single yard and score the touchdown. It's almost impossible not to score, right? Wrong. Our defense, even without Surtain, said, "Not today." Nick Chubb tried, stopped. British Brooks tried twice. Stopped and stopped again. Then came a false start that pushed them back 5 yards. And in the end, field goal. 3-0. Could have been 7-0. Our defense saved 4 points right off the bat. And look, I need to open a quick parenthesis here. If you're true Broncos country and haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button now, turn on the bell, because every week there's exclusive content about our team. The family is growing and you can't be left out. Back to the game. 2nd quarter, and things start getting ugly. Bo Nix suffers an interception by safety Callan Bullock. Houston gets the ball near midfield. Nico Collins makes a 26-yard reception. Then another for 10 yards. First down on the 2-yard line. Again, touchdown practically served on a platter. And again, our defense says no. A sack on Davis Mills on 3rd down, and Houston has to settle for another field goal. 6-0. But here comes a turn. Cortland Sutton, our number 1 receiver, makes a 30-yard reception for a touchdown. It's the first touchdown of at least 20 air yards that Houston's defense has allowed all season. Let me repeat, all season, and who broke that mark? Us. 7-6, Broncos in front. But the emotional roller coaster doesn't stop. With 40 seconds left until halftime, Michael Bandy fumbles on the punt return. Houston recovers, and with 42 seconds, they manage to position for another field goal. 12-7 Houston at halftime. We came back, got reversed, and went to the locker room losing. Total frustration. And here comes the big question about this Texans team. Their starting quarterback, C.J. Stroud, suffered a concussion in the first quarter and was out for the rest of the game. Actually, it was a pretty scary play. He escaped protection, ran for 6 yards, and was hit by our cornerback Chris Abrams-Drain. It was a completely legal tackle, but Stroud's head hit the turf violently. He was down, and you could see the concern in everyone in the stadium. Stroud is a special player, and we never want to see anyone get hurt like that. He left the game, and backup Davis Mills came in. Now, some people will say, yeah, but you only won because Stroud went out. Hold on. Full respect to Mills, but let's look at the facts. Our defense allowed 0 touchdowns. 0. 5 field goals, but no touchdowns. And look what they did in the third quarter. 8 forced punts. 8. Houston only converted 3 of 17 third downs. 3. On fourth down, they went 0 for 3. In the red zone? 0 for 3, too. Mills or Stroud, it didn't matter who was in command. Our defense was dominating. And who was the name of that defense? Several, but one guy shined above all, Zach Allen. The defensive lineman who signed a mega contract extension in the summer and is proving he's worth every penny. 1 sack, 3 quarterback pressures, 1 tackle for loss, 2 passes defended, 5 total tackles. The man was an absolute nightmare for Houston's offensive line. Jonathan Cooper and Nick Bonito also showed up with sacks. John Franklin Myers was everywhere, and without having to constantly blitz. Vance Joseph, our defensive coordinator, put together a perfect scheme, but there's another name that needs to be mentioned, Talanoa Hufanga, the safety we signed in free agency, and many people had doubts if he was still the same player from his All-Pro days. Man, he was flying all over the field. Almost 2 interceptions, important tackles, constant presence. He showed why he was one of the best safeties in the league before getting injured. And in the locker room after the game, he said something that sums it all up. A lot of people wonder what the secret is. But the secret is simple. We believe. Third quarter ends, and we're still losing. 15-9 Houston. 3 straight punt attempts from our offense. Knicks couldn't find rhythm against that number 1 defense. Troy Franklin disappeared. Cortland Sutton being double covered. R.J. Harvey with no room. It looked like it wasn't going to happen. Then the fourth period starts. And this is where the magic happens. Denver Broncos family. This is where Bo Nix becomes the comeback kid again. Right at the start of the final quarter, Nix finds R.J. Harvey on a 27-yard route for a touchdown. Harvey, our rookie running back, doing things no rookie at the position had done before in franchise history. That was his receiving touchdown in 3 consecutive games. 3, franchise record for rookies. But wait, it's not over yet. On the 2-point conversion, Troy Franklin makes an unbelievable catch. Game tied, 15-15, and then the final drama begins. Houston gets the ball with 1 minute and 14 seconds. They have a chance to win the game with a field goal. 1 first down, and it's practically won. But what does our defense do? 3 and out. 3 plays out. 14 seconds used. They give the ball back to us on our 36-yard line. 1 minute remaining. 60 seconds to travel at least 40 yards and get into field goal range. No timeouts. Every second counting. Every yard mattering. And Bo Nix, with ice in his veins, starts to work. First, a short pass. Clock running. They line up quickly. 2nd and 7 on our 39-yard line, and here comes the play of the game. Nix looks at the defense, sees a gap, and does what nobody expected. He runs. 25 yards. 25! He had only run with the ball once in the entire game up to that point, and when it mattered most, when Houston least expected it, he used his legs and gained a giant chunk of yards. Now we're on Houston's line, within field goal range. J.K. Dobbins, our running back, takes the ball for 9 yards. Clock running. Line up quickly. Nix runs again for 9 more yards. And look where we are, 34 yards away. Spike the ball. 3 seconds on the clock. Sean Payton, our head coach, calls Will Lutz. And here's information many people don't know. When Payton became the Broncos coach, one of the first things he did was bring Lutz from New Orleans. Some people questioned it. Why change kickers? Why give up a draft pick for him? Payton knew exactly why. Because in moments like this, you need someone you completely trust. Someone who's been through this 1,000 times. Someone who won't shake. Lutz walks onto the field. The cameras show Payton yelling to him right down the middle. 34 yards. For the win. For the 6th straight. To go to 7-2. The ball is snapped. Holder places it perfectly. Lutz kicks and go. Field goal. The ball goes right through the middle of the uprights. Broncos win 18-15. The team explodes in celebration. The entire bench invades the field. Lutz is swallowed by his teammates. Payton punches the air. And we, Broncos country, scream in our homes, in our bars, wherever we're watching. Because this wasn't just a win. This was a statement. Now let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. Nix finished the game with 205 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 60 passer rating. Not spectacular numbers, but he did what was needed when it mattered. Those 25 rushing yards on the final drive. That's clutch. That's wanting to win more than the opposing team. R.J. Harvey. 5 receptions, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. The rookie is writing his name in the record books. Troy Franklin made the most important 2-point conversion of the season so far. Courtland Sutton had the 30-yard touchdown that kept us alive in the first half, and the defense, hold on to these numbers, 0 touchdowns allowed, 191 passing yards allowed, 77 rushing yards allowed, 3 of 17 on third downs, 0 for 3 in the red zone, 4 sacks, 8 forced punts in the second half. Houston had only 1 first down in the entire fourth quarter. 33 yards of offense in the fourth quarter. Garrett Balls, our left tackle, said after the game, "Our defense is the best in the NFL. Our guys take pride in that." And Courtland Sutton added, "We could talk all day about how good our defense is. I tell them all the time how grateful I am, especially in this game when it was hard to put points on the board, but they kept believing in us, understanding that at some point we were going to find a way to score. This is a team, people. This is family. Defense holding, offense responding when needed, special teams making the difference in decisive moments, and leadership keeping everyone focused when things get tough. 6th straight win. The longest streak since that 2015 team that opened with 7 consecutive wins and ended up hoisting the trophy. Are we seeing something special being built? Does this 2025 team have that magic, that chemistry that championship teams have? Look, it's still early. There's still a lot of football ahead, but I'll tell you one thing. This team doesn't give up, no matter the score, no matter who's injured, no matter how difficult it seems. They find a way. Eagles, comeback. Jets, comeback. Giants, historic comeback. Texans, comeback with a field goal in the final second. 4 wins when we were losing at the start of the fourth quarter. 4. This is the kind of team you want to have. This is the kind of team that wins championships. Because in the playoffs, most games are decided by 1 possession. Most games go to the fourth quarter tied or with a tight score. And when you've been through this multiple times in the regular season, when you've already proven you can win in these scenarios, you arrive at the playoffs with confidence. You arrive knowing you can do it. Bo Nix is 4-0 in games we entered, losing in the fourth quarter. 4-0. For a rookie, this is absurd. This is veteran mentality. This is leadership. And he's doing this without the full arsenal of weapons. Without Jerry Jeudy, who was traded. Without a truly elite receiver on the other side of Sutton. With a running back room that was completely remodeled. And still, he finds ways. Now comes the challenge. Las Vegas Raiders on Thursday night. Short preparation game. AFC West Division rivalry. And they'll be hungry to ruin our streak. But if there's something this team has shown, it's that the challenge doesn't matter. The circumstances don't matter. They'll fight, they'll compete, and they'll find a way to win. And you, Broncos country, will you be there? Will you be screaming at your TV? Will you be sending that positive energy? Because this team feeds off that. They feel when the family is together. They feel when we have their backs. And look what they deliver in return. Unforgettable games, impossible comebacks, moments we'll tell our children and grandchildren about. So, answer me in the comments. What was the most exciting moment of this game for you? Was it Zach Allen's saving sack? Was it Bo Nix's 25-yard run? Was it Lutz's field goal? Or was it simply seeing this team refuse to lose once again? I want to know. Comment down below. And look, before I wrap up, I need to say something serious. There are people who still doubt this team. There are people saying we only won because Stroud got injured. There are people saying our wins are too ugly to matter. You know what I say to these people? Keep doubting. Keep underestimating. Because this team uses that as fuel. This team loves proving the haters wrong. And when we get to the playoffs, when we're fighting for that wild card spot, or maybe even the division, these same people will have to swallow everything they said. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it was pretty or ugly. It doesn't matter if we won by 1, by 10, or by 30. What matters is the W. What matters is being 7-2. What matters is having the best winning streak in the NFL, along with Kansas City. What matters is that when we look at the playoffs, we're in. We're the hottest teams in the league, and we have a rookie quarterback who's playing like he has 10 years of experience in clutch moments. This is the reality. Denver Broncos family. We're back. After years in the desert, after lost seasons, after coaching and quarterback changes, we finally found something special. We finally have that feeling again. That feeling of waking up on Sunday morning, excited for the game. That feeling of believing that no matter the score, we can win. That feeling of having a team that represents what Broncos country is. Fighter, resilient, proud. So I'll leave you with this. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy every win. Enjoy every exciting play, because this is special. This doesn't happen every year. And who knows where this journey will take us? Who knows if in a few months we won't be talking about a deep playoff run? Who knows if this 2025 team won't be remembered as the team that brought the Broncos back to the top? For now, let's celebrate. 18-15 over the Texans. 6th consecutive win, 7-2 on the year. And above all, a team that simply refuses to lose. So, Broncos country, do you believe? Are you feeling this energy? Because I am, and I can't wait for the next game. Leave your like if you enjoyed this content. Share it with that friend who's also part of the Denver Broncos family. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And comment down below what you thought of this epic victory. Broncos country, until next time. And remember, in Broncos we trust.